What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now here behind me we got the 2024 Honda Civic Type R FL5 in Boost Blue Pearl, and in today's episode I'm going to show you guys how to install illuminated door sill plates for the Honda Civic Type R. Now these are Honda OEM optional parts and it seems to be straightforward, so I'm going to show you guys all the steps involved and what it takes to install these on the Honda Civic Type R FL5. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on the installation. Alright, let's go ahead and take a closer look at all the various parts that we have here. Okay, first things first, looks like I got a foam adhesive pad right there. And then we got a fused decal. Looks like there's 4 different choices. And we got a bunch of tie straps in one variation. And then we got 2 specialty tie straps. Looks like aluminum tape. Looks like 2 clear decals. And then we got a big warning here for the alcohol wipes. And this looks to be our main wiring harness. And we got 2 bolts. I presume that's for probably ground bolts right there. And last but not least, we got the aluminum sill plates. So I believe that this is the driver's side, and this is probably passenger side right there. And then we got 2 very small rear door sill plates, so you can tell which one is which looking at the bottom. So this one says RL, so I believe this is the rear left. And this one says RR, so I believe this is the rear right side. Okay, that entails all the parts content for the aluminum door sill plates for the Civic Type R FL5. So let's go ahead and get the installation started. Okay, instead of starting with the front illuminated door sills, let's go ahead and knock out the easy ones first, which are the rear. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, so right here on the painted part of the door opening, that's basically where the door sill is going to go. Alright, for the driver's side rear door sill, you're going to go ahead and make sure you use the RL, which I presume stands for rear left. So that's the blue one right here. Obviously it's the short piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the alcohol wipes, wipe this area down on the paint, and then I'm going to go ahead and carefully position this door sill plate. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of masking tape and put a piece of tape right here just to mark it, and then I'm going to take a measurement from the edge of the masking tape over to this line right here that's on the plastic. Alright, so let me go ahead and get my painter's tape out, and I'll make a mark on there, and then we'll go ahead and prep this area and get the first door sill plate installed on the driver's side rear. Alright, according to the instructions at the beginning of the instruction sets, the dimension from this point to this line right here is 1.85 inches. Just a little FYI. So 1.85 from this line to this corner point right here on the sill plate. Let's go ahead and get the passenger side rear installed. Okay, now for the hardest part of the installation, let's go ahead and focus on the front door sills. Okay, in order to get started on the front door sills, we need to go ahead and remove some plastics. So we need to go ahead and remove this plastic piece right here, this plastic piece right here, this lower plastic piece right here, and that's on the passenger side. And then on the driver's side, this plastic piece right here, this kick panel right here, and the lower dash panel underneath the steering wheel right there. Now I believe the method in order to remove these plastic pieces is you want to just be careful and basically just pull up on this piece right here. And then with this kick panel, I believe this piece needs to go this way towards the center of the car, and then underneath the steering wheel, basically this piece needs to come down. And just be careful with wiring harnesses on these switches and whatnot. Okay, let's go ahead and start pulling this car apart. Alright guys, 15 minutes later, finally got the driver's side lower dashboard panel removed. And let me tell you, this is one of the worst plastic pieces I've ever had to remove from a car because the instructions aren't very helpful. So as you can see right here, you got your typical pop clips right here, these blue pieces. But what the instructions don't mention is this airbag cover right here. So as you can see, you got these, I guess, little notches on the top of the airbag. And in addition to the top notches, you got bottom notches here. So I'm gonna explain it to you as best I can, holding this in position. So basically you need to take the very bottom of this cover and then push it backwards and down. And that'll basically free the plastic from these ridges right here. And then on the top right here, you need to do the same thing. So when the bottom plastic is free, you actually basically push this thing forward, come down a little bit, so all these metal tabs are free from plastic. And then what you want to do is you want to go ahead on the top, is you want to push from the top area and then go up, because these metal tabs right here are locked into that plastic. I couldn't figure that out for the life of me because the instructions are very vague, but here's what it looks like on the top side of where those metal tabs lock into the plastic. So this is very tricky. So just take your time, and you don't want to break this thing because, you know, plastics are not cheap. So, I mean, I was getting frustrated with this, but finally this thing is off. So now we have full access to the underside of the dashboard. I mean, this was not fun at all. Okay, now the painful part of removing all the plastics is removed from the Civic Type R. Now let's go ahead and connect the main harness. Okay, so this white plug right here with the pink and brown wires, and that's the white wiring harness right there. Let me show you where this plugs into. So take a look at this white connector, and you go from the underside, and that's where it plugs into right there. It's a little hidden, but it is tricky. So that's basically where that white harness plug plugs into. So let's go ahead and plug that in, and then we'll start routing things, and then we'll figure out the next step. Okay, next step of this wiring harness process is you need to go ahead and get this part of the harness right here extended over to the passenger side. And how you do that is you need basically a steel coat hanger bent straight. As you can see, I basically poked through the passenger side, pushed right through, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your harness right here and you're gonna carefully tape it with some electrical tape, and then you're gonna pull it back through. So let me show you how I routed that wire on the passenger side. Okay, so you can see the instructions are a little vague of how to route this thing. I don't think this is the Type R instructions, you know, with the lower airbag not being mentioned. So, I mean, it gives you a better idea of what's going on here. So this might be for like Civic Sport LXs and Sport Tourings, but you know, it is what it is. But anyways, so here's my coat hanger. And as you can see on the far back, right behind this plastic tab here for the HVAC unit right here, that's basically how I poke through. I was trying to poke through like above this plastic right here, above here, and that was getting stopped. So basically once you go behind the HVAC right here, this tab, I mean, it basically just went right through. So just a little tech tip right there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, tape up the wiring harness on the driver's side and pull this carefully through so we can get our connector over for our passenger side sill plate. Okay, so the wiring harness was successfully pulled from the driver's side using the coat hanger method. So here's the wire right here. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mount the sill plates on the sills right here, and then we'll go ahead and make the connections. So here's the sill plate obviously for the passenger side, and there's the Type R symbol which actually points to the back. Now according to the instructions, with the black plastic joint right here, when everything's put together, it needs to be 1.12 inches backwards. So I went ahead, took my ruler and cut a piece of tape 1.12, which is about 1/1/8. So basically I just butted up to the piece of tape right here. So this is 1.12. So in my opinion, cutting the piece of tape at 1/1/8 was much easier than trying to use a tape measure, because basically this metal just slopes upward here and you don't want to get the tape measure and scratch up the paint right here. So It's hard to work with. Tape measure is usually meant for wood anyways. Okay, let's go ahead and do a test fit real quick here. See how this thing fits. So basically I want to take this front corner right here and butt it up to the tape line right there. Okay, so basically that is the permanent position of where the installation instructions are referring to. So that looks pretty good. And just make sure that this sill plate right here is butted up to where this piece of metal goes upwards. So the sill plate actually fits pretty tight on the sheet metal. So it's gonna be pretty snug once we go ahead and undo those adhesive strips. So I'm gonna go ahead, clean this area with the rubbing alcohol, peel the adhesive strips off, and I'll go ahead and apply the first sill plate. So wish me luck. All right, now it's time to protect this wire from this pinch weld of the body. And how you do so, there's two different stickers. So this is protective sticker number 1, and they give you the dimensions and instructions. And protective sticker number 2. And this little clip right here will slide into position once you put protective sticker number 1 wrapped around here. So let's go ahead and take care of this. Okay, driver's side door sill is finally plugged in and all the wires are routed and secured. So let me show what's going on. So right here is a very important step. So you want to put one layer of protective tape underneath the wire, and then take that black plastic clip, slide in place, and take your second layer of protective tape on top of that, and everything is secure and the wire is protected. And then went ahead and pulled the carpet back, and there's a lever right down here. Basically I took a screwdriver and basically just pushed down on this little lever right here, and this plastic clip separated from the body right here. And then from there, I was able to route the aluminum sill plate wire in between this plastic encasement and the body, and then put this back, routed the wire, and then basically made the connection right there. So I didn't cut these tie straps yet because I wanted to show you how I secured it. So here's the wiring connector and how it connects to the main harness. As you can see, I got a tie strap on there. So I'll go ahead and cut that. And then looking up underneath the car, and then taking a closer look underneath the passenger side dashboard, I got a tie strap right there on another wiring harness. One right there, and then one right here at the HVAC box where the green tape's at. Okay, so now that I showed you the locations of where I tie strap the wiring harness onto the body, I'll go ahead and trim these tie straps. And after I trim these tie straps, I'm gonna go ahead and put this side back together, and then we'll finish up on the driver's side.
Hey, what do you say? This whole town could be red by the end of the day. If you feel alright, we can throw it and drive.
Okay, the driver's side aluminum door sill plate is now connected to the harness itself. So right here is the protective tape and that plastic protective cover that goes onto the pinch welds of the body, so this wire is not cut. And this right here is where the door sill connector connects to the main harness. Tie strapped it to the main body harness right there, and the wire routes up into the dashboard. And this right here is the new fuse for these illuminated door sill plates. And I went ahead and used the provided tie strap onto the wire harness itself, trimmed it up. And then how I routed the wiring harness is the instructions were a lot different because I presume that this knee airbag right here is a lot different than what's on the instructions. So I basically routed the wire inside the metal brackets of this knee airbag. So basically the wiring harness goes along here, comes forward around this area right here. And then from there, the wiring harness goes down south, right behind this plastic panel right here. And then I went ahead and installed some aluminum tape, like they instructed me to right there, for the wire to rest against. And then right here is a special wiring harness connector. So basically you had to unscrew the screw right here. This plastic comes forward, and then you go ahead and clip the wiring harness holder and then go ahead and trim it up. And then this right here is where it goes behind the center console to the passenger side. All right, guys, I just wanted to go ahead and show you how I routed this wiring harness and how I made the connections. So now we can go ahead and put all the plastics back together and use extra caution around this airbag right here. So let's go ahead and do the final touches. All right, so let's go ahead and button this car back together.
The good times roll. Down, we'll never come down. When the sun comes up, we'll be feeling how we do right now. My heart's on fire, coming down to the wire. While the world sleeps, we'll keep burning brighter and brighter.
All right, guys, here in the garage, got a little bit of dim light, so perfect opportunity to go ahead and see these illuminated door sills. All right, let's check out the back seat first. See how these door sill plates look. And that right there is the finished result. Pretty small pieces, but you know, it's a nice little accent right there. Help protect this little door sill. You know, high quality plastic, got some triangular shapes along with this piece of inset metal. And the main star of the show is the front door sills. Let's check these bad boys out. Oh man, that looks incredible. I mean, just look how that Type R just illuminates just like that. And a closer look at the front door sill plates, Illuminated Type R versions. You know, these are very nice Honda OEM accessories right here. High quality plastic, bevels down, matches perfect with the contour where the weather strip goes. And of course, the Illuminated Type R right there. That's really awesome. So everything is functioning as it should. And then obviously you've got this recessed metal piece right there. And then you got this textured plastic, which actually matches perfect with the actually factory door sill right here. And there we have it, folks. The Illuminated Type R door sills, Honda OEM accessories. What do you guys think? You like these things? Alrighty guys, that wraps up today's video on the installation of the Honda optional OEM illuminated door sills for the Honda Civic Type R FL5. And more than likely, the same installation procedures occurs for the regular Honda Civics as well. Anyhow, we got a little more planned for the modifications on the FL5 Type R, and I can't wait to show you guys. And if you guys are enjoying the Type R FL5 series, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.